Welcome to TalksToGeeks.com. Justin here, back with more movie reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the movie Evil Dead Rise. As always, I give you a brief synopsis, and this is in the horror genre. So here we go. A twisted tale of two estranged sisters whose reunion is cut short by the rise of flesh-possessing demons, thrusting them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. I really enjoyed this film, and I thought this was just up there with the Evil Dead remake. I kind of like the remake a little bit, just slightly better. But I'm gonna get into that. I'm not gonna do too much of a compare contrast between the remake and this one, but I'm gonna just view this as a standalone. And this was good, man. This was really good. What I really liked about this film is that this Evil Dead felt a little bit more personal when it comes to the characters. With that, what I mean by that is that we actually have a situation in here where it's not boyfriend, girlfriend, or college kids, or just friends going on a trip. This is actually people who are flesh and blood. This is about a family that goes through this tragedy when it comes to these demons. And a lot of the times it kind of a heartbreaking tale when you think about it. For those who've seen the film, and of course this is spoiler free, and just to give you a little bit of the premise as the synopsis stated, you have these two sisters, one played by Alyssa Sutherland, and she plays Ellie, and then you have Lily Sullivan, who plays Beth, and these two sisters couldn't be more estranged. One is a technician, and one is a single mom who's trying to raise her, who's had a falling out with her husband, and she's trying to do her best with her three kids, and they're about to get evicted, and that's all I'm going to say about the plot. One thing leads to another, where they encounter the Book of the Dead, and the way they introduced the Book of the Dead, and the way they were able to have someone read from the Book of the Dead was very well done. Because the way if you've seen the other series and the other entries in this movie, people have to understand the text, and the way they were able to incorporate that and have someone read it was, I thought, was very well done. And what I will say is, when it picks up, it picks up. I mean, even from the opening credits, something happens, and it just doesn't, like, there is just a little bit of breathing room to introduce the family, introduce the drama, introduce a little bit of dynamics of the characters, so we get a feel from them. Then when things hit off and things start popping off, whoo, it pops off. I think, which I'm finding shocking these days in today's films, is that golden rule when it comes to children and seeing children being harmed. That seems to be out the window these days, because there's a lot of movies now where we're literally just seeing kids. Like, we've seen it in Stephen King's the It remake, when Georgie got his arm ripped off. We're starting to see a lot of kids just get taken out here, or just getting really messed up. And Evil Dead has them kids, and man, does it work. It is nerve-wracking at times. I'm a horror fan, so a lot of stuff when it comes to the scare factors, I'm desensitized when it comes to horror. So what's gonna be terrifying for you? I've seen enough horror movies, enough. I mean, because I have Shudder, so I'm watching horror constantly, consume it every day. So what might be terrifying for you, the casual audience, for me it was just like, okay, this is cool, this is nice. There is still that intensity, though, that I thought did very well. I thought they did very well, especially with the cinematography, the way it's shot, the way this apartment is shot, the way the practical effects are. And let's talk about the performances here, especially the performance of Alyssa Sutherland, who plays Ellie, and who is this version's demon, or the Deadite. And she did a great job. From just like this, she doesn't have too much dialogue, but just the facial expressions, the body language, the way she moves, her mannerisms, it is terrifying, especially when we get introduced to her the first time. For those who've seen the trailer and you see her in the kitchen, that was such an unnerving scene, because you don't know what moment is she going to snap and just strike. And when she strikes, oh boy, does she strike. It is kind of a tragedy story because you get a little bit of time with this woman and her kids. And then when the thing inevitable happens, you're like, oh man, you're nervous because you don't know who's gonna make it out. And that's what I really liked about this. You do not know who's gonna make it out. It's so unpredictable at times. And I thought they did a really great job. Overall, everybody, Evil Dead Rise is a fun, creepy time. If you're a horror fan, if you're a fan of Evil Dead franchise, you're gonna love this. There's some nice callbacks, some nice Easter eggs to Ash Williams. Not necessarily the character, but certain weapons, certain items, and there's a certain laughing scene from the previous Evil Dead movies that you'll probably like. Oh yeah, that they did it justice. So you're gonna enjoy Evil Dead Rise. I'm gonna give this 4 stars out of 5. Had a good time. It was great acting, great production. Nothing really too much to complain about. Like I said, when it comes to the scare factors, didn't scare me because I watch horror all the time, so I'm kind of desensitized. Keep that in mind. But for everyone else who doesn't watch horror like that, you're gonna have a good scary time with this one. It's a thriller. It's uncomfortable. You're gonna like it. This is Justin from tacosthegeeks.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. By the way, if you're watching this on tacosthegeeks.com, by all means, browse to our website, check out our podcast, check out our podcast, check out UWL and everything else. I'll catch you on the next review. Later days. Thank you for watching. Peace.